Good evening, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to the show. We're going to attempt a listing show tonight. I have everything worked out from a technical perspective. Going to do the share screen, going to pull up full photos. Won't have to deal with any miniaturized photos on the eBay website. Hope everybody's doing well. Great to see you. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? Let me welcome in some folks. As you hear, continue to battle this chest cold. Hi, Jeff. I'm really sorry about that, everybody. So excuse me if I sound hoarse or if I cough. I'm going to be noted as the guy who coughs. Hey, CJ. Hi, Stephen. Michelle, again, great to see you. I just had a terrible chest cold for almost 2 weeks at this point. So we'll see what happens. Hope everybody's doing well. I do have, like I said, a few ads pulled up and ready to roll. Hey, Ralph, how you doing? You anxious for my show? Oh, wow. You know, I hadn't planned on it, but I'd be happy to go through a couple of postcards, Ralph, because I'm sure there'll be very few hands down if I took a poll and said, hey, anybody want to see some postcards go up too? So we could probably do a little bit of both. This way you can see SixBit some more. And plus, I personally need to get in the habit of using this new listing tool because with the fact that I'm using SixBit for postcards exclusively, I haven't touched the regular listing tool other than some Christmas goodies I've been putting up and records and things of that ilk. So we could do a little bit of both, Ralph. This way, if you have any anxiety around SixBit, hopefully we can alleviate that for you. Oh, really? Yeah, thanks very much, Michelle. It's been a while for me. It's been ridiculous. It was 2 weeks ago today. I was at that postcard show, and it was pretty much that evening I started with a little tickle in the throat, and you know, everybody knows the whole deal. We don't have to go through it, but I did get tested. I don't have the virus, thank goodness. But I'll tell you what, at this point, I might as well. It's like I'm sick. You know, I've been sick. I've been hacking up along, all that stuff, a little stuffed up. But hopefully we'll be winding down. It's also freezing. It was in the 20s. You know, I know freezing is a relative term depending on where you are in the country or world, but pretty dang chilly. It was like 24 degrees this morning, and I had to go out into that weather. And I think that's, you know how it is. If you have one of those like chest cold things, you go out and you breathe in that cold air. Oh, my God, it seems to go right through you. Hey, Sandy, how you doing? Welcome. All right, Dawn is here. Welcome, Dawn, and thank you very much. Yes, everybody welcome, Dawn. Hi, Barbara, welcome. Yes. Yep. Oh, yeah, she comes in. What's the expression for March? It comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb. Dawn comes in like a lion. She's ready to roll. But yeah, Ralph, if you're looking for some 6-bit action, we'll definitely throw that in. By the way, cheers, everybody. Just saying. Best way I know to fight a cold. Yes, there she is, ladies and gentlemen. So how's everybody doing? You having a good week on the old eBay, on the old Etsy? I had a sale. I had 2 sales on Etsy. I had a sale on Wednesday and a sale today. Unheard of. Both records, by the way. Both Christmas records. Surprise, surprise. So 'tis the season. I had them up on eBay as well, and they sold on Etsy. Beautiful. So I do cross list. I think we've talked about that in previous shows. I do cross list several items. I think it's like 90 I have open or something like that now on Etsy from eBay. And 2 sales in 3 days for me is probably a record on Etsy, as sad as that sounds. But it's true. Don't sell a lot on Etsy, unfortunately. But a couple of Christmas records. A lot of great feedback from buyers of postcards. I just want to applaud the whole postcard community once again, including collectors of these things, because I'll tell you, it's very refreshing virtually. And of course, I probably put my foot in my mouth here by saying this, but almost every single postcard that I send out, I get positive feedback on, like almost instantly. Great card. Thanks so much. So it's just a nice lot of people in general that collect these cards. And you know the ratio. What is it? You're lucky if you get like 1 feedback out of every 5 or 6 sales, if you're lucky. With postcards, it's unreal. It's almost everybody. That's a nice little extra with doing the postcard thing. Sales have been meh. Yeah. There you go. Pied Piper is always a good thing to have a new shipment. You care to share how many would be involved in this shipment? You, John, and Kelly should be affiliates with 6-bit. Yeah. Well, again, full credit to both of them. I mean, John didn't really talk about it much, but he shows it in several of his videos, I think. And I know Kelly was using it as well. Yeah, I just like it. It works for me. I think one of the main reasons I like it so much is the fact I can't stand the new listing tool on eBay. So for me, I just love it. I love it. Two old guys, vintage and resale. How you doing? Yeah. Welcome to the show, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Two old guys, huh? Welcome aboard. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to do some listing tonight. Two old guys. We're going to do primarily print ads, old print ads tonight, but we might do some postcard listings as well because of a few people had interest in seeing a little more of SixBit. SixBit is just a third-party listing tool. It's not magical or anything. It's a third-party listing tool. It has some cool features, most of which I don't really need. At least I don't know if I need them, honestly. The things I need it for, it does spectacularly. Hasn't let me down yet. And this is not going to be an infomercial, as somebody said, for SixBit, I promise. But it is going to be just, if we want to go through it to take a look at it, I'd be happy to do that. Hey, Kat, how are you? They're easy to package and ship to. What, that postcard? Oh, please, absolutely. Preaching to the choir, Kat. Absolutely. Welcome to have you aboard. Yeah, the roller coaster that is reselling, right, Dawn? 300, nice. That's a solid amount. That'll get you through the weekend anyway. That's probably true, Jay Smith. Absolutely. For me, because I'm living in postcard world with SixBit, it's ultra simple. I don't have to change virtually anything but the title. I do put in a couple of specifics recently. I've been putting in the state. I have some defaults. I do have United States defaulted and original or copy, whatever the expression is. I always have original. But outside of those couple of defaults, I really don't add much other than a state. So it's very, very simple. And I'm living in, what is it called? Non-topographical? Topographical, whatever it's called. You've been listening on Etsy, really? Same for you. Hey, Lori, how you doing? Welcome to the show. I opened up with an apologetic appeal to everybody to be patient with my lack of a voice, my occasional throat clearing, and my soon-to-be coughing, which will happen. Battling a chest cold for a couple of weeks here. We're going to get through it. One lot was 80, one was 69, and two large binders. Cool. Hey, they all sell. I'll tell you that. That's one of the things I've learned. I have a video coming out, which I made a list of. It's basically like top 10 things I've learned since I started selling postcards, about postcards. And one of them is just that at the end of the day, pretty much without fail, they all sell. That's a nice feature of a postcard. They all seem to sell eventually. Not saying they're all going to be huge money, but they all sell. Just got to get them up. Oh, you guys are into glass? That's cool. Actually, yeah, Lori, I saw you on, is it Esme? Is that how you pronounce it? A couple of weeks ago, you were on her show, right? I remember you brought that up. I did watch that episode. You did a great job. I believe that was your national debut on YouTube. Hey, Allie, how you doing? Did you have a whatnot tonight, Allie? I think you usually do Fridays. Hope you did well. Heard there was an outage on whatnot last night. I don't know if anybody was victimized by it or experienced it last night, but there was supposedly a hard outage. The whole site went down. A bunch of people were in the middle of streaming and it just cut off. That's not cool. You're going and change this to Monday. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you're here. Great to have you. We're going to do some listing tonight for sure. We have some print ads queued up. We could definitely do some postcards as well. We'll look at SixBit a little bit for anybody who's interested. Oh, excuse me. You have a plushie whatnot. Very cool. Assorted plushies, like just plushies of all kinds. Disney plushies. It must have been. It was a little while ago. And I don't know if I've been back to Esme's channel. No reason. Just watch some of my channels. Yeah, because Dawn is omnipresent. For those who might not know, everybody knows. Everybody loves Dawn. Matt said he had an issue on whatnot. Yeah, it eventually fixed itself. Yeah, there was. I'm a member of a Facebook. That's funny. Freudian slip. A Facebook group for whatnot sellers, and there was a post last night. I forgot what time it was, but basically just saying it was like a national or whatever you want to say, a total outage, and a lot of people were affected by it. But I didn't happen to have a whatnot going last night. Where's my boy Audie Mike? He'd be proud of me with my liter beer. Mostly Squishmallows. Ooh, not familiar with what they are, but everybody tune in to Lori tomorrow night to find out, if you don't know, like me, what a squishmallow is. Yes. Da-da-da. It's a great song, by the way. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to see if I can throw a link in quickly without bothering Dawn every 10 seconds. I'm sure it'll come down to me having to bother Dawn, but right now, let's see if I can get away with doing this myself. I'm going to try to throw a link in the chat for everybody. Trying. Here we go. All right, everybody. Go check out a link to Lori's plushie extravaganza, as she words it. Did you say it was scheduled for tomorrow, Lori? I believe you said. That's a link. Go follow. If you're not on Whatnot, be sure to use the link down below in this video. Get yourself a $10 credit. And make sure you go follow Lori over there on the Whatnot. Hey, Kelly, what's up? Might be a stretch. What might be a stretch? We got a lot of postcards, magazine, and 50s calendar prints. Oh, very cool. I don't know about expert, but I definitely list magazine ads is what I do, guys. I'm the butcher of Seville here. Again, nothing against anybody who sells whatever they sell. God bless you all. I learned a couple of years ago, sort of by accident, but that for me, the sum of the parts is greatly exceeds the sum of the magazine. So, for instance, Life magazine is kind of almost a joke out there amongst magazine. Not a joke, but like you could buy a Life magazine on eBay for $5. You know, the people give them away because they don't sell great on their own. There are a handful of covers that are very desirable, certainly Marilyn Monroe, Beatles, etc. But I've determined for a fact now that, you know, you can open up any issue of Life magazine. I'm just using Life as an example. It could be any magazine. It could be any year as well. You can open up a magazine and find 25, 35, depending on the issue, maybe 50 really, really good advertisements that each one can sell for 15, 20, 30 bucks a piece. So you do the math, you know, 30 times 30 or 30 times 20, whatever, $500-600 a magazine. And there's very few magazines that I know of that sell as a whole for $400, $500, $600. Now, it's not going to be an overnight thing. You're not going to sell 50 ads that you cut out in a magazine tomorrow. But like anything else, like a lot of people that do the postcards, it's a numbers game. Just get volume, get a lot of ads up, get a lot of postcards up, get a lot of anything that you have up, and you'll make a good profit. You'll definitely make a good profit, and you can make a good living on them. So that's basically my mantra, is that I cut the magazines up and I sell the individual ads. And we'll get into that this evening. And I have a whole video series, The Two Old Guys, all about print ads. If you're interested, on my channel, you can check it out. It's like 6 or 7 parts, I believe. Oh, you're very welcome. Absolutely. Check her out. Hey, Lee. How do I store 45 records? I have an actual a 45. It's like if I had accessible, I'd show you. It almost looks like a shoebox, but it's not cardboard. It's like a cloth. I mean, there might be cardboard underneath. It's like a cloth. It's just a box, Lee. It's probably about 18 inches long, and it's the exact width of 45s. So I just store them like that, always standing up. This goes for any media, even CDs. Don't pile records on top of each other. Definitely don't pile 78s on top of each other because they will break. So I always stand them straight up, kind of like my album right here, standing up. And yeah, I have this nice little thing on, it's just a nice little cubby sort of thing for 45s. I don't have a ton of 45 for sale, to be honest with you, Lee. I'm more of an LP guy and a 78 guy. I'll certainly sell 78s, 45s. But I'm really into, you know, regular albums and 78s. But yeah, you can probably find them online. Anything will do, anything that fits that form factor. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Welcome. Hope you're feeling better, man. Are you doing better? I know you were down on Monday. Uh-oh, please hold. There you go. Thank you, Dawn. Yeah, Two Old Guys. If you want to check that out, that's the link. Dawn is the queen of links. If you have any time, maybe after the show, and you want to check out some of it, I have a whole multi-part series all about print ads. Yeah, definitely. Good for you, man. I'm not. unfortunately. Still hacking up along. It's a miracle I'm speaking as much as I am without choking yet, honestly. Steven sells more 78 centers. So do I, but I certainly have a lot more of those. I know people that do great with 45s. I have nothing against 45s. I just don't happen to have that many. I've picked up little boxes. You know the boxes that they would come in originally at estate sales. I keep looking down because I have so much stuff around me, but I don't know if that's one of the things I have. Anyway, you've probably seen them all, guys. They're from the 50s and 60s. They're these little boxes that hold maybe 50 45s, and a lot of times people would write their name on them, things like that. I have a bunch of those that I've just picked up the whole box at an estate sale. And that's another great way to store them. I have some generic white sleeves that I picked up too, like hundreds of them, because I've seen, unfortunately, a lot of the 45s don't come with the original covers. If they do, they command more money. Typically, it depends on the record, obviously, the popularity of the single or the rarity of it. But I have those too. So I generally I keep all of my records in really good shape because I'm first and foremost, I love records myself. I have thousands of records that I just love that are mine. In addition to what, I resell. Hey Joe, how you doing? Welcome. 87. That's right. Yeah, I didn't want to get out the old. How does one calculate an angle? I don't even know. But yeah, just basically stand them up. Just don't pile them on top of each other. Hold them like that. Store them like that. Especially 78s because they're by far the most fragile. They're made of shellac, a lot of them, and they're extremely brittle. You look at them the wrong way and they will crack on you, unfortunately. Nice. It's always a good thing. You're welcome, guys. Cool. All right, so we all gathered here. I mean, we got 25 watching. Might as well fire this up and get started. We'll do a few print ads to start off. I have everything ready to roll, so we should be good. Let me pull up the crazy screen first, and then we'll pull this up, and hopefully you can see the eBay screen. I will wait for YouTube to catch up. There we go. Cool. Everybody sees that pretty clearly, right? I think what we'll do, we know what the listing screen looks like. I'm just going to pull up individual scans of records of print ads. We'll take a look at it together. Anybody who hasn't been on a listing show or hasn't been in a while, basically what we do is we pull up some print ads and we kind of dissect them. We take a look at what we think might be important keywords to add. We look for little kind of hidden little gems within the ad. You'll see that a lot. This is, relatively speaking, a pretty new magazine. It's from 61. It's from March of 61. It is Life. So again, for reference, these are all 14 inches tall by 11 inches wide. So nice little mini posters, like I always say. And now you guys can see the folder. Yep, I can see that you can see the whole folder. Great. So we're going to be golden here. Let's pull up a big old ad. Everybody see that? Yes, you do. And we can even do this, everybody. Check it out. We can zoom in. This actually blows away the old way. Look at this. Everybody like that? You like that, Dawn? The magic of the computer. So anyway, this is clearly an ad for, I don't know if it's for film or the camera, actually. Kodak color film. You got the Brownie camera. You got the color film. Like, this is why it's really great to blow this stuff up. You see at the very bottom, see Kodak's The Ed Sullivan Show and Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. So those are two cool things to mention that you might not see if you were just thumbing through a magazine. You saw how small the wording is. Things like that. People collect Ed Sullivan stuff. People might collect Ozzie and Harriet, old TV. So you have several. One of my biggest goals whenever I'm listing a print ad is to try to appeal to several collector groups, not limit it to one. You can't always do that. But an instance like this, it's an Easter ad too, by the way, right? So we have Easter Sunday. You have a nice wholesome looking family here. You have Kodak, you have the Brownie, you have the film, and you have the whole tie-in with Ed Sullivan and Ozzie and Harriet shows. And again, this is from 61. So you're going to, with this one ad, potentially hit people that collect all of those different types of things. And as we've all learned from doing eBay for a while, people collect anything. Anything. Right, Dawn? I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago. One of my bigger bulk sales of ads occurred a couple of weeks ago. It was a gentleman in the UK who, by the way, gave me positive feedback, bought like what, 13 or 14 Tampax ads. Like ran the gamut, bought them all, different years, different magazines, just bought them all. You know, good money, shipped them out to the UK, good feedback. So people collect everything. And you might hesitate at first and say, do I really want to list this? Or is this good enough? Will anybody care? Odds are they will. People buy everything. All right. So again, now we have the flexibility to really take a good look at in fact, a better look than we've ever had at the ads themselves. It's really good condition. Just a page out of a magazine from 1961. It's for Eastman Kodak. And now we can flip. This is kind of cool too. We'll just flip back. I will bring in the photo for the purpose of the ad, which is eBay photos. It's from March 61. This is the one we're doing, right? Look at the difference, everybody. This is what we were limited to, was just seeing the photo like that. And you could barely read anything about the Ed Sullivan thing. So this new method is definitely the way to go. I know it's been a while, so we will go through this. This is the way I do it. Doesn't mean you have to do it this way, but I always put the year first. Then put the product. So in this case, it's Eastman Kodak. I'm going to put film. And I put vintage print ad. We still have, what, 39 characters to play with. This is my internal. Well, first of all, let's put it in the right categories. It's definitely not furniture, right? It will be. This is a tough one. For whatever reason, Kodak never comes up as its own category, which bothers me. I wish it would. Then it gives you suggestions you could see. I think I'm going to wind up in this generic 60 to 69. For my internal store category, I have cameras and film. So that's those two taken care of. It's a multicolor advertisement. The brand is Kodak. I forgot. My goodness, excuse me. I forgot how we changed this to add. Does anybody remember? Is it custom specific? How do I add the print ad wording to this? It's not modified, made in the US, creations 1961. Oh, do you remember how to do this? Who remembers? I have to add, instead of having sign a sticker, I want to add print ad. I don't remember how to do that right now. This is all kind of canned stuff for me. I populated the issue that we're working with, which is March 61's life. Yeah, Allie, I think you're the one that helped me with this last time. Try to click on what? On sign. Oh, that's right. And then you can change it. There you go. Enter your own. Thank you, Allie. Beautiful. Appreciate it. Print ad. It would be nice if this stays. Maybe it will if we save it. Okay. I think that pretty much covers the specifics. Again, full disclosure, when it comes to print ads, I always fill out all the specifics. It's something I just do and always have. I've never had a problem with it. With postcards, it's quite a different story. I'm extremely limited in the specifics I put in. And if we switch over to postcards after a few ads, which we probably will, we'll kind of see that in action. So that's it. It's as simple as that. All right. So we have the frame of our print ad ready to roll. And now we can go back to the picture. Well, again, we have, I would almost say Easter bonnet maybe might be a good keyword. It's definitely Easter. It's definitely family, something like that we could put in. Brownie camera. Ed Sullivan show. Oh, it doesn't stay on? That stinks. I have to go back. You're going to see this craziness for a second because otherwise I can't see what you guys are writing. That's one drawback. Click on the sign. Thank you. 6-bit only for postcards. No, Lori, it's not only for postcards. You can do anything you want. I only use it for postcards as we stand here. Type of advertised and put in printed. All right. Thanks, guys. Back to that. Back to the picture. Artie Mike. Prost. Do you know what I'm saying? Got to fill this bad boy up a little while ago. Enjoying some Becks. Not bad. It's about the only real German beer you can get around this area. All right, so again, family, Easter, Sunday best is a cool expression. Definitely want to get the Ed Sullivan and Ozzie and Harriet thing in there. Where would you guys start with this? Great to see you, Mike. Yep, Audie Mike is here. I'm going to put Easter for sure. It is indeed an Easter egg. Brownie. No, it looks like Kodak film. I'm going to put Brownie camera. Easter family. Ed Sullivan. Ed Sullivan not fitting in there. Hey, Jim. Welcome, man. Welcome, welcome. Great to have you. I know, Popeye. I'm deviating slightly. I wanted to get back into some print ads because I actually, when I watched your show on Thanksgiving, and you were listing on SixBit, and you were just sharing the whole screen, I said to myself, that's the way I could do it for eBay, because I was having a problem ever since they changed the listing tool to the new listing tool. You couldn't blow up the picture. When I would pull in a picture, I couldn't blow it up. It was just a certain size, and that's it. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of doing the listing shows when it comes to print ads, because we like to blow them up and read all the little tidbits that are inside. So anyway, I'm just sharing the whole screen. This way I can zoom in, zoom out on my photo. We can take a look at all the goodies. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it for this one, for our first venture with the new listing tool and a print ad. If you want to take a look again, I have the year, the brand. I put the Brownie camera in there as well because it's referenced, even though it's a Kodak film ad. Finished print ad, it's an Easter ad. And I put Ed Sullivan because he's referenced at the bottom that I guess Eastman Kodak sponsored the Ed Sullivan show in 1961. Again, I'm going to do a little dummy check here because these things are so different than they used to be. Data creation, again, is 61. This I know is the same. I do allow offers. I have a shipping policy in place. All right. Let it roll. Excuse me, everybody. All right. And then we're going to create similar. And away we go for number 2. That was pretty painless. As long as I had the ability to show the photo blown up, that was the one thing that was lacking. But now we're good. All right, so 2 old guys who are new to the channel. Again, welcome aboard. Do you guys have any questions? Do you guys have any feedback? You're going to see the gist here. And again, that one I had priced at $16.99, which is pretty much my standard pricing right now. I fluctuate. You gotta adapt to markets. Yeah, bonnet is a good one, Joe. I was going to put that in, Easter bonnet. Hey, Rye, the Medicare guy, how you doing? Do you ever use eBay Promoted at all? Sorry if you've answered this. Yeah, I do. I use Promoted on virtually everything, the truth be told, especially postcards. Postcards and ads. Well, ads are still my number 1 by volume, but postcards are creeping up quickly to number 2. For the ephemera-related stuff, yeah, I typically do promote. There are certain items I won't promote because I think they're so popular that they don't need it. A lot of Disney things that I sell, short of Disneyland postcards, but a lot of Disney items, I've never had a need to promote them. They're so commonly collected and searched and so desirable that I don't think you really need to give away money to eBay for promoting those. Again, nothing against anybody who does, but I haven't had any trouble selling a lot. I have a lot of Disney stuff. I used to have a ton of it because my wife and I both worked. She worked in the Disney store, but I worked in Walt Disney World for a little while. So we have tons of stuff from Disney. Plus we're fanatics and we go all the time. Those things seem to sell without the need for promotion. A lot of my Beatles stuff, if I sell Beatles stuff, Beatles is just such a popular thing. Again, I don't really need to promote a Beatle album if I'm putting it up for sale. People search Beatle albums with reckless abandon. So with those few exceptions, if something's extremely, if I was to sell, I've used this example a lot. If I was to put up an iPhone, I don't think I need to promote that. People are going to be searching iPhones left and right. But for other items that are common, there's a lot of people selling postcards, so I think the only way to have a shot is to promote them. Maybe that's not true. Maybe there's people that have such a huge following that they don't need to promote, but I definitely choose to promote them. Right. Hope that answers that. Kelly, your biggest issue is setting up the backup. I'm not an IT guy. I probably should set up a call with SixBit. Setting up the backup from your store, you mean? The sync with your store? Is that what you're talking about, Ralph? Oh, that's awesome, Popeye. Yeah, the 50th anniversary, which ends, by the way, in March, just in case you didn't know. As does Splash Mountain, everybody. Did you guys read about that? Splash Mountain officially goes down. I think it was January 23rd. Hey, Gravity Goods. Cameron, how are you? Good to see you. When we chat, you're just going to have to deal with this gobbledygook up here. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. No, it's okay. I can multitask, Kelly. I'm a big boy. Appreciate it, though. You can handle the 6-bit if you want. So anyway, that was listing a print ad. I'm glad to see. I have 2 computers going, Popeye. I don't even have another monitor. I have 2 computers going. But I have YouTube to my... The reason you always see me looking like this is my other computer is to my left. And I have the YouTube feed going live. Even though it's like a 10-second delay, as I know you know. So it's not a problem for this sharing. It works pretty well. It's easy. All right, guys, you want to do a couple of ads? Backup fails for you often. It's wonky for me. You can either go into their support page. They're quick and they're really, I mean, Kelly, again, I know you know this. They're very good, Ralph. If you're ever like worried about support from this company, they're fantastic. They're very helpful. And are you on that whatchamacallit? Are you on the trial membership? Because you get that like top tier service while you're on that. So definitely, if you have any questions, take advantage of that. You do suggestible story. Yeah, there's a million ways around. People get creative with that. Well, this would be a Beck's. This would be 2 bottles of Beck's, John, and an official. How do I pronounce this, Mike? Hofbrauhaus from Munich, an official Munich. This is a liter of beer. It's the best way I could think of to get rid of my cough. A couple of ice cold Becks in there. Just about filled it. Let me show you, Audie Mike. This is all part of the lesson tonight. 2. Gonna have to go glasses, folks. Can't read to save my life anymore. We have 2. How many ounces is this thing? 2 pints, actually. Of course, it's green. 2 pints of Beck's equals 1 liter of my tremendous dimpled mug from Munich. I love this thing like you wouldn't believe. I got it for $15 on eBay, everybody. So beautiful. This is what you get if you go to Oktoberfest or anything. If you go to Munich and go to those celebrations, this is what you get. They're really cool. They have these dimples on them, and this is how you hold them properly. Put your fingers in there. You never spill your beer. Going down smooth, by the way. Going down well. Kelly promotes between 2 and 5. Sure. Cool. Yeah, people tried everything, Rye. I know you have didn't you say you have 5 different usernames on here? Tonight's Rye, the Medicare guy. But yeah, there's a lot of different approaches. People try to get creative and come up with their own techniques. Whatever it takes to get that advantage and make sales, it's worth doing. I'm never one to complain about fees on eBay. I think it's money well spent. I think anybody who thinks otherwise is foolish. Quite frankly, I don't care what you say. You're paying to have your merchandise viewed by millions and millions of people around the globe. And if you're a hot shot and you think you could do it yourself, then go get your own website and spend all the money you need to do to promote and try to get that kind of audience. It's not going to happen. So the price of admission is very low, all things considered. You'll never hear me complain about fees. I don't think it's a big deal at all. If you really think about it, they're pretty minor. Thank you, Dawn. Hey, Johnny. Excuse me, everybody. Johnny, thank you for bringing in a couple of buddies. Got two old guys came in. They said that you brought them in, so thank you very much, Johnny. Great to see you. Check out Johnny at 8:30 Monday to Friday, doing his best to help other resellers promote their channels. Great guy, a lot of fun. Mandatory watch every morning. Thank you very much. Yes, I noticed. That's awesome. And I'm on the calendar too, right, Johnny? I appreciate that very, very much. Yeah, Kelly's definitely well versed in 6-bit. 6-bit is great. I agree. Oh yeah, just I know I've heard people complain about the 6-bit conversation, but tough luck. It's a cool program, and a lot of us use it. This is not a promotional. It's not an infomercial for 6-bit. I promise you. But everybody was talking about the different pricing. I have it's funny because I just got my second invoice, right? I had October was my trial, November was my first full month, and now I just got billed for December, and it's $25. It's $24.99 a month, which to me is, again, money well spent. It saves me so much time. My productivity increases when it comes to listing postcards. So I'm a huge proponent of the program. I think it's fantastic, and the people are really good. I do wish they would expand and get onto the Apple platform. For a lot of people use Apple. Hey, Jennifer, thank you so much. Yes, please do hit the like button, everybody. The thumbs up. If you are so inclined, I would appreciate it. Great to have you, Jennifer. Thank you. Yes, thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. No, I don't think you throw money away at all. No problem, Kelly. I appreciate it. Are you getting some, what are you getting up tonight? You listing? Exactly. And it's right. These are all write-offs, all these memberships, things that you utilize for business needs are all write-offs. Absolutely. Very good point. I could think of a lot of other things I waste $25 a month on, it's not a lot of money. It's less than $1 a day. If you think about it. And I do think about things. Yeah, I remember you said that, Cameron. I wish they would expand to that. You would think, again, based on the popularity, a lot of people have high praise. I certainly do. It's a great program. I'm sure they could. I'm sure if it's funny if one of, especially somebody like John, with the volume he does, if we were to write a letter to these guys and just say, hey, just out of curiosity, you guys thinking about expanding into, the Mac world? I bet you it's something they've either been working on or are going to work on in the future, because it's excluding a pretty big population of users, if you don't have that. But I remember Kelly saying, Cameron, if you want to get like a cheap little laptop, or you can even, on a Mac, you could run Windows. You could run a Windows just to get 6-bit going if you wanted. But again, it's up to you. It's without question, for me, the big advantage for it is I can't stand the new listing tool. And if I had to do postcards the way I'm doing these the print ads right now, I'd just be a lot slower. I love the interface. It just seems very familiar to me for some reason. Immediately, it seemed very familiar, and I really enjoy it. You're not an Apple gal? I don't discriminate. We have everything. We have my wife uses an iMac back there that I set up. I've had an Apple MacBook Pro for it's 2013, so 8-9 years. Windows, I have Linux. I've been doing computers since a long time. So I don't discriminate. They all have their pros and cons. Windows it's the most robust operating system. You could do the most on a Windows machine. That's for sure. No, I definitely get you. No. Yeah, that needs to be rectified, John. I don't know what you're doing sitting there counting your airplane cards. Just kidding. Cool. Beautiful. Yeah, get them up, man. I check in. I mean, I really do. Just about every morning I'm in there. I don't always chat or anything, but I'm always watching. I just like having it on in the background. And this way, if something does come up, I can chime in if I need to. But I genuinely appreciate his generosity. The way he just, he's always looking out for other resellers, other YouTube channels, constantly, helping promote all of us. And that's to be applauded. You do a great job, man. Thank you. Well, it's Friday, so we knew it was takeout tonight, right? There you go. Airplane cards, cool. Holy cow. And you just made space, yeah? John, if you had to guess, you probably don't have to guess. How many do you use these metal things that everybody uses? The metal racks. I don't know what they're called. 1, 2, like 5 or 6 shells, the metal poles, you know what I mean? That just about all of us use. How many do you have? If you use those, how many do you have? Curious for those postcards. Mark SM Postcards has a great video about his organization because he has a ton of cards too. And the video is a little older now, I guess, Mark, right? But you had that little shelf system that you built, and you said you could fit like 50,000. I don't remember what the number was. 50,000 cards in like a 5-foot square space. Definitely a huge advantage of the postcard thing is the incredible ease of storage. And then if you use Popeye or Mark's system for inventory, you're golden. No problem, man. It's great to have you back. And I've missed a lot of my listings. I've been doing basically just chat shows twice a week. Yeah, Dawn, you're all over the place, right? 120 boxes. This is guy Dave. Relocated, okay. Yeah, shelving unit, but there's like a word for it, Kelly, like the ones that everybody uses. Oh, yeah, shelving unit will suffice though, yeah. There's different kinds. You can get like the plastic ones. We have like plastic shelving units in a closet we have in the basement where we keep like all our Christmas and Halloween stuff. And then for the eBay stuff, it's all like metal. And for the baking stuff, it's all metal shelving units. Nice. Did she really? Yeah, because you're out west. I know. That time difference will always get you. Yeah, use the racks, right? Use 10 shelves. Yeah, because you have such a small footprint there. You double them up. So 10 shelves instead of 5. 4 boxes per shelf. Nice. A lot of cards. Yeah, she can't help but be out in the West Coast, you know? I mean, personally, I think she should set an alarm for 5 o'clock every morning, but hey, you know, everybody's got their priorities. Kelly with the winning answer. We will hereby, this is known as a metal wire shelving unit. Soda's written, soda's done. Well done, young man. Yeah, it's really a fun group of people. It's just such a positive, uplifting atmosphere in general. I really enjoy it. 11 shelving units and 4 double shelves. Wow, okay, cool. We actually have probably we have like 15 of those metal shelving units, but a lot of the stuff that we have is bakery related. Like we have, you don't want to get into the details of the baking stuff, but the 50-pound bags of sugar and flour and powdered sugar, we have hundreds of them and they're stored on those things. And then my eBay stuff, probably like 5 or 6 of those metal wire shaving. What do we define them as? Metal wire shelving units. Hey, Andrew, how you doing? Usually wake up 3 p.m. No problem. The MWSU, exactly. MWSU. Now that's, again, these are official things. So there will never be any more. What do you call those things? It's the MWSU. And the cool kids will all know what that means. Do you not have the wire shelves, Storm? What else is? You have the plastic ones, the Walmart specials. They sell them in Home Depot. So they're actually really sturdy. We just got the metal ones because we needed the weight support. They can hold an unbelievable amount of weight, the metal ones, and we needed them for those big 50-pound bags of flour. We have like 1,000 pounds on a shelving unit. Big plastic cheap dollar tubs. There you go. As long as you can find the card when it sells, right? And they're not damaged, I guess there's no wrong way to do it. Yeah, plastic are cheaper. Plastic are cheaper. They work well. Again, we have it for all like the bins that have like Christmas and Halloween and Easter stuff. Yeah, you made an impact in the one live. I'll tell you that. That was a really good time, man. You did a great job. That's right, Lori. Exactly. Excuse me. What aisle is your MWSU? And if they don't know, they're not cool. Plain and simple. It depends on where you get them. I mean, again, you're in Canada, so everything has an asterisk. Who knows what they do up there? But ours weren't that expensive. Ours were like, I don't know. I could probably pull it up. I got them at Home Depot. Yeah, do you plan on repeating your glory of Thanksgiving? Or is it maybe the new annual Thanksgiving show? That could be kind of cool. Screw the parade. Right to John's from 2 to 8 p.m. Forget the football. Let's list postcards, baby. Yeah, that again, I know pricing is probably different up there. Probably, yeah, like $50 or so is right for the plastic ones. Cool. Oh, okay, yeah, they're not nearly as sturdy. Yeah, the metal ones, correct me if I'm wrong, for everybody who looks up an MWSU, they could hold an obscene amount of weight. They're very, very durable. Yeah, we have 12 of them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 12 of them right now. About half of which I use, half of which for the bakery. That's a shame. Hey, Mark, we're talking storage. We're talking, hopefully you're cool enough to know what an MWSU is. If you're not, shame on you. But the metal wire storage units, shelving units, that everybody seems to have. I was struggling to come up with a term for them, and we've collectively come up with this cool little acronym, MWSU. The things that hold like 1,000 pounds, probably more than that. That's a great thing, Kelly. I actually went through the same exercise earlier in the week. I was doing the same thing because of Christmas time. We had some Christmas stuff that was in my death pile, to be honest with you, like just, Santa things and I put them up for sale, little dishes we had, things that were actually ours that we just were going to get rid of. Like, hey, put them on eBay, some of which would never open, by the way. But yeah, I did the same thing. I consolidated a bunch of hard goods. I wound up throwing out some stuff. Truth be told, I had some stuff that's been up forever or I never listed. That's just, at the time it seemed like a good idea, but now that I'm focused almost exclusively on ephemera and records, I figured a lot of the other stuff I can either get rid of or consolidate or just blow out or donate, whatever. And I made a lot of space. I saved some space on my MWSUs actually for, precious shelf space for new postcards, of course. Much like when you go to a shopping center, like a supermarket or anything, they tell you the value, the shelf space is often more valuable than the contents within. So if I have a bunch of crappy little, $5 T-shirts and little knickknacks and tchotchkes, taking a precious shelving space where I could have 5 tubs of postcards, it's a no-brainer. You got to make room for the postcards. Oh, that's cool. Oh, with wood shelves. That's nice. You call them racks here in Chicago. Hey, now. Yeah, they do hold a few thousand. Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is, again, it might be just Dawn in Canada. They're nowhere near $200 here, Canada. Dawn, I'm sorry about that. If there was an inexpensive way, I'd buy some for you and send them to you. I swear to God, because you get ripped off so much in that country. Why do you live there? Let's be honest. Why do you live there? You're 20 minutes from Detroit. Come on. The Wooden Brook Shelf Crew, yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you do see them a lot in restaurants. Very good point. And we use them. If you didn't know, Mark, my wife we have a bakery in the house. So it's an in-home bakery. And we have the 50-pound bags of flour sugar and powdered sugar. And we have them stacked, 100 of them in several things. And they hold them. They don't bend. They're fantastic. They can certainly hold postcards. There you go, $50. Yeah, right, exactly. Business expense, totally. A wife WSU, yes. You do 3 tubs high per shelf. You might end up doing 2, which would allow to add another shelf or 2. Yeah, man, enjoy. Any Penguins hockey tonight? Just curious. You might be watching a little Penguin action too. It's close enough. Close enough. For all this aggravation, what's the advantage of living in Canada? That's my question is. What's the advantage of living 2 hours from Detroit but getting ripped off everywhere you look with shipping and pricing. Your wood shelves are 4x12. Yes. Is that the video that you did, Mark? With the, I thought it was a really cool video. A little tiny, relatively tiny spacing. Like I could fit, again, forgive me with the numbers. I don't remember. I could fit 50,000 postcards in a 5-foot space, something like that, right? I think is what you said. Yes, comes down to Mark's rack, Mark's wife's rack. You know. All right, guys. Anybody want to let's list another ad. Let's do this. Pull another one in. We can continue the conversation, but I just want to. I really do want to get some ads up. It's been a while since I've added them. This is one of my bigger bolos as far as ads go. Royal Crown RC Cola. I don't know why. Personally, I like RC Cola. I used to drink it all the time growing up. Haven't seen it much where I live now. I'm sure it still exists. It was kind of a, a knockoff of Coke and Pepsi, if you will, but I preferred it when I was growing up. RC Cola used to be a sponsor on the Mets. I'm a huge New York Met fan. Dawn apparently sleeping at the wheel here. There you go. Go get him, baby. So anyway, Royal Crown Cola, RC Cola, a bolo in print ads. Ka-ching, says Ralph. Oh, did you just get a cha-ching? Let's pull up this RC Cola ad for everybody to enjoy. Alrighty. Again, we are in March of 61. Life Magazine, the Fresher Refresher Royal Crown Cola. Very different bottle than I used to see. It was like a red and blue. Relax, enjoy the new day cola with a refreshing difference. Tastes fresher. Sprightlier, that's an interesting word. Livelier, made fresher from protected concentrate, not perishable syrup. Try RC today. It's the Fresher Refresher. So there you go. RC Cola. Really a good one to look out for when you're looking at print ads. If you see RC Cola, get them up. They sell well. People collect them. RC Sprite, 7-Up. 7-Up is really good. Coca-Cola, obviously, probably one of the most collected products on planet Earth. If I had to bet. I'm sure there's a way to look that up, but it's got to be up there. But RC Cola, yeah, it does really well for me. Just a girl who really enjoys her bottle of RC Cola. Look at how nice that bottle is, too. Like a dark green. What do they call that? Green glass? Is that green glass? That dark, thick glass. You don't get that nasty aluminum can taste. Mark is suspecting a nose job has been done. Yeah, she enjoys that. That's a refresher right there. Look at the earrings, by the way, Dawn. What do we think of this? The green and yellow hoop earrings. We got a double piercing going over here, too. 1961, we're doing a double piercing. Or are these like snap-ons? What do you think, everybody? See, we couldn't do this in the old days on the listing show. Look at this. We could zoom in. Very attractive shade of bright red lipstick we got going here. You can actually see the dots, everybody. Look at that. The printable, what do they call that? The dots. Cameron's saying clip-on. I think they got to be clip-ons, right? I mean, who has a hole all the way over there? Nice manicure going. Look at the nails. Little crown going on the cola bottle. Nice cashmere sweater, too. You're both fashionistas? No problem. All right. This one's good. I promise you, it's very good. Aussie Cola, baby. 1961. Aussie Cola. And I'm going to put, that's what I usually do. I put Aussie Cola. And I know it's repetitive, but in this case, there's really not too much to talk about as far as the ad itself. Like, there's not too many, what should I say? There's not too many, like, grabbing words that you could use. So I'm going to write Royal Crown as well. Put lady with bottle. What we usually do, and again, this isn't that old, but we look for, like, fashion. Seriously, Cameron, like fashion, you said fashionista stuff. Hairstyle. Excuse me, everybody. Hairstyles, clothing, anything that's of an era we like to sort of point out. You know, the 20s girls, we put like the bob hairdos, things like that, a beehive. We would mention that. And this one, we got the kind of crazy earrings. We have a white sweater of some kind, which looks very comfy. Fresher Refresher. So anybody see anything that you think would be a good word to use in the title? Bakelite. Very good, CJ. Love it. Bakelite earrings. Should I put hoop earrings or no? Are they hoop earrings? Cameron being the self-proclaimed fashionista. Would that be a hoop earring, Cameron? And why you're a fashionista is a whole other conversation, but is that a hoop earring? Or are they too small to qualify? Yeah, I know what Bakelite is, Dawn. Absolutely. Clip-ons, okay. What do you think, everybody? We're going hoop or no? I think hoop is bigger than that, right? Bakelite, clip-on. Should we use clip-on earrings? Well, that's everything. Shoot, I'm just gonna put Bakelite earrings. Let's fix the categories. Certainly not cameras and film. This would be beverage. The brand is Aussie Cola. Categories beverage. Store category. Excuse me. You see right here. Oh, that's the other one I want to mention. That's awesome. Knee High and Diet Right Cola are also. They're all lumped into the same category on eBay, and they are all very highly collected. So that's kind of cool. So that's another one to look out for. Knee High grape soda, I remember used to be around. Diet Right Cola. Tab Cola is another really good one to look out for. Tab Cola. Theme is soda. Again, we have to, as Dawn said, we're going to have to keep writing this, unfortunately. Printed. My apologies, everyone. Going to have to live with it right now, though. Not modified. Yes, this is from 1961. Multicolor. It's an original. I wish this stuff would save. Crikey. All right. This one I could probably price up, actually, but I'll leave it at 60. I'm not going to be greedy right now. Everybody cool with that one as far as description? We have 61 Aussie Cola, lady with bottle, Bakelite earrings. Something you've probably never seen strung together in a sentence in the history of mankind, right? All right, we're going to list this one, everybody. This way we sneak in some listings, we sneak in some conversation. What are we going to do? All right. There's 2 down. Audie Mike says red diamond logo. Ooh. Rub some Simichrome. What be that, Lori? They only have Canada Dry ginger ale. That's all they have, Mark. Oh, God. What's going on, man? Mike is here. Yeah, it's a Midwest thing. I guess Dawn's kind of in the Midwest as far as Canada goes, too. On the eastern outskirts of the Midwest, if that makes any sense, right? Yeah, they say Pat. Yeah, there's no O in Chicago. It's an A. Hey, Barnumania, what's going on, man? CJ is handing over the reins to Dawn, please. See, I knew if I asked the question, Lori would respond. Is it called Simichrome or Simichrome? That's how you test for Bakelite. There you go. You got treated for it. You're pap free. It's pretty cool. I really do like the way of I like the way we can present the ads now. It's actually better than it used to be. See, so trial and error. We found a way to do it. Voice is definitely escaping me as we speak. In case you didn't notice, eyes are turning red from constantly choking. It will probably be another sleepless night. Very difficult to sleep when you're choking. It's worse when I lay down. So what you do at that point is you just keep drinking your liter of beer. It's the only other way to get rid of it. Most cough medicine is alcohol anyway. Sody pop. That's funny. All right, there's those two. We could maybe we'll wait for Popeye to return from his meal, and we'll go into little 6-bit action. If anybody cares, would like to see, we could do some postcard listing. Beer or vodka? There you go. Yeah. I'm actually a Scotch guy, truth be told. Love some Scotch. But you could slum it and just go with a simple beer. The only reason I'm drinking beer is because I got this mug, and I'm like, I got to get a beer to put in this mug. You know, it's too close. It's been staring at me for a week. So I went to the supermarket last night, and they have a little beer section, and I saw the Beck's. It was the only German brand they had. I'm like, oh, let's get a couple of Beck's. Break in the glass. You know what I mean? Isn't it ridiculous? I've had it for 2 weeks, Mark. And I've finished a whole bottle of antibiotics too, which did absolutely nothing. Amoxicillin. Done. Useless. Did nothing. Could be viral, in which case an antibiotic would do nothing. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and I noticed the bottle is definitely different, Mike. What was it called? The red. What did you say it was called, Mike? I'm sorry. The red what? Red triangle or something? Maybe I'll modify it. I'm really sorry, seriously, everybody, for the coughing. My goodness. Viral. Yeah, I guess mine's got to be too. Horizontally stretched red diamond. There you go. With white inscription. The trademark name occupied the central place. Yes, that's probably something the collectors would look for. It's a great point, man. Hey, Tommy, what's up? Vapor rub on the feet and chest works amazing. Yeah. Oh my God. Remember? When I was a kid, Vicks. Used to put Vicks. Used to live on Vicks. Used to put Vicks all over my chest, and I remember when, not to bore anybody, but I was in the hospital for a month plus when I was 6, turned 7, the day I got out of the hospital with double pneumonia, a whole month. And I remember then it was like, you just get the hot bowl of water with Vicks inside and swish around and put your face over with a towel and breathe in the Vicks. I think that's frowned upon nowadays. It's probably all sorts of toxic. But I'll tell you what, it did feel good. You know, it gives you the sensation that your airwaves are opening up. Whether it's true or not, I have no idea. No idea whatsoever. Back to at the front, the one on the right, circle is restriction. Thanks, man. That's good. That's definitely good stuff. Red diamond logo. I might actually go in and tweak that. Thank you, sir. Hold on. That's the beauty of eBay. You can always go back in, edit your listing. Red diamond logo. Because it's true. Maybe people are looking for that. Red diamond logo. Probably more important than the big light earrings. Red diamond logo is in, Mike. Join. Save. See, that's a good thing to learn that kind of stuff. That's what I missed from not doing the listing shows for a while. Yeah. NyQuil on tap. That's hysterical. Oh, yeah. Vicks. I mean, again, I don't know. I don't even know if it's considered bad anymore. But yeah, I would just lathered in friggin' Vicks, like whole chest. I remember my mother rubbing my chest with the pneumonia, especially on your back too. And it does give you, at least the skin gets that sensation of relief. I don't know if it really did anything though. Always comes down to the little ones. I know. Oh man, no way. I'm sorry to hear that. I had that in January, unfortunately. And although it was pretty bad, it was the same thing. It was this lingering cough for like a month. The actual sickness was like I had a fever for 2 days. I didn't feel well for a couple of days and it was gone. But this lingering cough, as they call it. This time I got the multiple tests and it's not COVID. It's just a good old, they called it a upper respiratory infection when, again, when in doubt, they just, doctors just do educated guesses. Let's be honest. They're not doing a thorough examination of your thorax. It's like they listen to your lungs, make sure there's nothing in there so you don't get pneumonia. And if your bronchial tubes are a little bit swollen and your nose and you have some pus, you have some mucus and whatnot. Oh, upper respiratory infection. Amoxicillin for a week. I took amoxicillin for a week. Nothing. Ungats, it did. Nothing. So it must be a viral thing. But I never got a fever during this, which is really odd. I'm sorry to hear. I hope you feel better. Yeah, I never knew about that. It does feel good. Pus bags. And probably some places that they shouldn't be put on. Yeah, you want to avoid certain areas without question. It's a good way to wake up in the morning, though. A little strategically applied Vicks. All right. I'm going to fire up the dreaded 6-bit just to mix it up a little bit. And I'll share the screen. Sell items. What's killing me is this is a solid 2 weeks at this point with like no relief at all. Like it hasn't even gotten a little less bad. That's concerning. As long as I don't have congestion in my lungs, which I've had. Unfortunately, I've had pneumonia like 5 times too. Just one of those things I'm susceptible to for whatever stupid reason. I remember when I was 6, 7 years old, the doctor telling me that, you have to really be careful as you grow up with chest colds. Yes, doctor. All right. I was just setting up 6-bit for a future listing. Your doctor said it has 3 ingredients that help. Eucalyptus and benzocaine or 2. Can't remember the third. Oh, really? That's good. I just figured like most things nowadays, all of a sudden, everything you used to do when you were a kid is like toxic or, carcinogens and all this stuff. I mean, when I tell you I was bathed in Vicks, I'm not exaggerating. I had Vicks all over the place for many a year, unfortunately, including in the hospital at the time. This was 1974, 73 or 74. I went my youngest granddaughter's play at school today. I have a serious cold. Oh, no way, Mike. Really? Yeah, the little kids. As Mark affectionately calls them, pus bags. Yeah. They'll get you every time. That's the reason to live in Canada. There you go. There's no sick people in Canada. Just eat lead disease. There you go. Anybody ever see George Collins skit about when he used to bathe in the East River? And like the viruses didn't have a chance because he was, we swam in raw sewage. Had to work on it. There's some, as funny as it is, there's actually some truth to that. He's like, your immune system needs something to practice on in order to build an immunity to things. It's a hysterical skit. I love George Collins. Saw him live in Vegas, actually. One of the great moments of my life. But I digress. Mud pies, sure. How about moon pies? Singing mermaid Lori. How about, you ever get a bee sting, anybody? I had not many, thank goodness. I had a bee sting. I had a hornet, which was the most painful one. A hornet supposedly stung me on my back one time. I was in Florida at my grandparents playing wiffle ball, and the ball like went behind some weeds or something on the side of the house, and I leaned over and I must have disturbed a hornet nest. Got zapped on the back. And my grandmother, and this is again like in the mid 70s or something, my grandmother calls me in and tells me, come on in, I know how to fix it. And she grabbed mud and put mud all over my back on the sting. Supposedly mud helps bee stings. Whether that's true or not, no idea, but it was a grandma's tale. Made me feel better at the time because I was probably crying like a baby. Thank you, Dawn. Your wife worked at the high school. Your daughter works in surgery. Oh, my God. But again, to George Collins' point, you would think you've been exposed to virtually everything under the sun. Your immunity should be at a very high level, Mark. Very high level. Painful, right, Laurie? Very painful. Right, mine was like my lower right. I'll never forget it because I was leaning over. It was just such a like vulnerable position to be in. I was leaning over into this like thing of weeds, like I said, where a wiffle ball got stuck, and just I didn't know what hit me. It felt like it was really painful. I remember the pain. It was like getting stabbed. I mean, I don't want to be over dramatic, but it's like and I had no idea what it was. I think that was the first time I'd ever been stung. I was probably like 8 years old or 9 years old, and ran into my grandmother's, and she said it was a hornet nest. Like, oh my God. But I've only been stung maybe 3 times in my life, which I guess isn't terrible for a kid that used to play outside, 24 hours a day. But yeah, a very painful spot. Is the mud still there? No, but the sting is gone. Oh, really, Dawn? Give it time. Give it time. Just a matter of time. Spit on the bee sting. Yeah, it's back to basics. You know what I mean? You got to do something to get the poison out. What do they say about God forbid, maybe you know this, Law. You're out in Arizona, I believe you said, right? Or Nevada or Arizona. Snake bites. I've heard people that you literally have to try to suck the venom out of somebody. You could save their life. I don't know if the same applies to a bee sting, but what is a nettle? I apologize. I don't even know what a nettle is. It might be a Canadian thing. That's right, Mark. She lives in the frozen tundra of Canada, where they drink pop. Bee stings. Mud can help relieve some of the itchiness and pain associated. There you go. Simply mix some dirt and water. That's what Grandma did, Mike. That's what Grandma did. If it was good enough for Grandma. It's funny. I don't remember the rest of the incident. I remember getting stung. I remember running in and crying, and it hurt. And I remember my grandmother putting mud on it. And that's kind of the end of the story for some weird reason. I don't remember what else happened. And in all seriousness, I know there's people that get extremely sick from bee stings. It's I don't know if it's an allergy. I guess it's an allergy to whatever they inject in you. People can get violently ill from bee stings. So I guess all things considered, for me, it was just it felt like it got cut, like stabbed. It hurt. Mom did it too. Hey. Nevada. Sorry, I thought it was Arizona. Yeah. I'm sure there's some snakes snaking around down there, though, right? Put some Putin on it. It was in the UK. It's a plant. Okay. Oh, a nettle. Oh, maybe I do know what that is. I thought it was a creature of some kind. Credit card. There you go. Look at all these tricks of the trade. Credit card to get the stinger out. I mean, I have not been stung by a bee. I can't remember the other. Oh, I do remember the second one was on my wrist. I was climbing a tree, as one does when they're a kid. And I remember getting stung on the wrist, but it didn't hurt near. This was sometime after the dreaded hornet incident on my back. It was child's play, relatively speaking. It still hurt because, again, vulnerable. You're hanging there on a branch, again, as one does when they're 10, 12 years old. Zapped on the thing. And I do remember this was like a regular like yellow jacket or whatever you call it. And you could literally see the stinger like still like going like pushing the venom in. Awful. And I just like went like that. At this point, I was too cool to cry. And I don't really remember what happened. I remember going down from the tree. I think the same thing. I put dirt dirt on it or something silly. Oh my God, is this the beginning of a joke, Lori? A hornet walks into a bar. What? Some Putin or Vesputin. Remnant Truth, welcome aboard. Welcome to the show, and thank you for chiming in with no longer recommend sucking snake venom. Is that correct? What's the new if you're out in the wild, like let's just say you don't have access to first aid. Lori, being in Nevada, what do we do if you get stung by bitten by a snake out in the wild? What does one do? Oh, I love the cheese curd. I love cheese curd. That's poutine, isn't it? Poutine? Yeah, you wrote Putin. As in Vladimir. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Herbal don't do this book, right? Here, folks. Yeah. Watch this show to find out what not to do when stung or bitten by a hostile creature. Pregnant women do not have... The thing is, what are the odds, Audie Mike? You're out there, you got bit by something, you got stung by something. Any pregnant women in the house? I mean, come on. What are the odds? Just go tourniquet. There you go. Welcome to the show. Thank you for the contribution. I was going to say that, like, what do you do other than die? It was going to be part 2, but what do you do? What does one do? I always thought the sucking the venom out was like an emergency situation, but kind of has to be done. Not a fan of snakes. No offense to snake lovers out there, but not a fan. Don't see many snakes in the Northeast, other than the little garden snake that, maybe this yay big that slithers around in your garden, harmless. Just put tobacco on stings in Kentucky. Yeah, exactly. You know what? Think about it. What is tobacco? Crushed leaves, right? Dirt, all that kind of stuff. It must have something to do with the cooling effect, and I guess it absorbs dirt being soil, which is really, when you think about it, what is soil? It's decomposed leaves and such, right? I guess it helps kind of suck out the poison or whatever. Copperheads and moccasins. Yeah, that's a good, definitely good idea, Mark. When in doubt, leave the snake alone. They sell kits. Oh yeah. And it's foolish to not go out prepared, I guess. That's the end. That's the bottom line right there, right? No, I'm not a snake guy. I gather you're not a snake guy either, Mark, huh? Not a fan. I'm anti-snake, got to be honest with you. A corn worm. Again, a creature I have never heard of until this sentence. Please do expand upon this, Sandy. Or somebody look it up on the Google. A corn worm. That's a creature I have not experienced in the wild. At least not knowingly. Are they worms that eat corn? Dawn likes snakes. Of course she does. There was a guy I used to work with years ago who borderline obsessed on snakes, loved snakes. And he would talk about the different types of, is it a diamond head or something? Like he proclaimed that he could tell almost like without, and it's true because we had the Google at this point, and we would like send him pictures of a snake, and he'd say, "That's a, I have no idea what it was. This is a southwestern diamond head rattler, blah 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 blah." And he would always be right. He loved snakes. He was like obsessed with them, and he would always say that like 90% of the snakes that you encounter in the wild, at least in the country, are pretty much harmless, and they're a misunderstood creature. All this stuff. I can't remember his name. He was a nice guy too. You would never think he was a snakeophobe though. He was definitely very pro snake. Corn eating worms. I don't know what is a corn worm. A worm that eats corn is the only thing I could think of. I have no idea. Anybody ever heard of a corn worm? Am I the only fool that hasn't heard of a corn worm? Lori likes snakes. Hubby got bit by a 4-foot boa. That's not fun. Well, that's a different level than a bite when a constrictor, right? Where they could literally kill you and squeeze you to death. That's a different level of horror. Now, is it a coyote or a coyote? In certain parts of the country, they call them coyotes. Oh, no. They're eating the bunnies? It's not cool. Don't know that I've ever seen a coyote live. And, like, again, in the wild. Don't know. Big mother dogs. Thanks, everybody, for sticking with me in this terrible state that I'm in. I appreciate it very much. Again, if you wouldn't mind, just give a thumbs up on the video if you've enjoyed it. I'm trying my best. I was seriously considering bailing, which I didn't want to do. I was going to send out some kind of message that says, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Because when I was upstairs before the show, kind of like now, I was trying to talk with my wife and I couldn't string 2 words together. And she's like, how are you going to go on YouTube in 20 minutes? I'm like, I don't know, but I got to do it. The people need their ads. Are you anti-bunny, Lori? Say it ain't so. Oh, that's not cool. Bunnies are cute, but a nuisance. Yeah, that's true. They eat lettuce and whatnot, right, in the gardens. Yeah. Sandy with the official definition of a cornworm. A saddleback cat. Oh, it's a type of caterpillar. Okay. When I went to the doctor, Mark, they said it's either a virus, a bacterial infection, or a cornworm. So I think you're right. A neighbor here in Charlotte took pictures of coyotes right in the city. Oh, really? Just like wandering around? Again, why not? Because the topic's been brought up. What is the difference between a wolf and a coyote? I defer to you being a Charlotte, North Carolinian. My sister lives not too far from Charlotte, by the way. Beautiful country. What's the difference? The question is posed for the group. Wolf, coyote. Differences? No problem at all. Thanks so much for coming in, guys. I really appreciate it. As you can see, we've, turned it into just kind of hanging out right now, which happens now and then, especially when I'm not feeling well like this. Coyotes are much smaller. Got you. Okay, cool. But bigger than a fox, Dawn, right? Is that correct? Like, do we go fox, coyote, wolf? Wolves are bigger, I'm sure you meant. Okay. Coy wolves, there you go. Wolf will kill you faster. Yeah. And a fox is like a glorified puppy, right? We actually have foxes running around in our little community once in a while. My wife affectionately calls them Mr. Fox. They make some crazy noises at night. You ever hear a fox at night? Oh my God, they scream. I know a lot of people have probably heard cats. If you ever hear 2 cats in the back fighting in like 3 a.m, it sounds like somebody's being murdered in the back. It'll make the hair on your back stand up if you have hair on your back. And foxes make some sick sounds. Oh yeah, we have foxes, and we have whatchamacallit, raccoons. I live in a townhome community, and one of the things about living in a townhome community, at least where I live, is that we have like these shared like garbage depot sort of things where like there's like 8 big tubs. Everybody takes the garbage and throws it in there, right? They call it like the garbage house or whatever. And in those garbage houses, especially now this time of year when it starts getting cold, the raccoons will go in there and they'll try to if somebody like is lazy and doesn't close the lid on the thing, which happens all too often, and there's food, forget about it. There were like 6 raccoons trying to go through, garbage and pick out food. And I can't tell you how many times we've lived here it'll be 7 years this month, actually, on the 15th. 7 years, how many times I've been terrified, like you're taking out garbage at nighttime and you lift up one of the things and you see those eyes. It's like, oh my God. Raccoons. They are adorable. Coyotes sing. Oh yeah. Foxes make some crazy noises. Killer gerbils. Yes, exactly. They scream like it's like somebody's getting murdered outside. You're like, I believe it or not, as used to it as somebody could become, we're sort of used to it. And with the windows closed now that it's cold, you don't hear it as much. But in the summertime, my God, those first, because I live like our bedroom is facing basically a forest. Like there's nothing for like several acres but trees and forests kind of thing. And that's, of course, where they all hang out. We have deer in our backyard and all that. And yeah, the foxes, my God, screaming. It really sounds like a woman screaming for her life or something. And I can't tell you, those first couple of nights when that happened, I was terrified. My wife, Miss Hotshot, who grew up, see, I'm not from this area. She grew up in this area. She's like, it's just a fox or it's just a cat. I'm like, what? Wild gerbils. Couldn't tear them away. The Stones have a song, Wild Gerbils. Ralph had a deer bed down in my backyard. He took pictures. Cool. I'm sure Michigan has all kinds of critters. All right, guys. Who wants to see some postcards go up? You had a duck nest? That's cool. I'm going to pull up 6-bit for those who care. Just 1 second, everybody. And I know, because Ralph was asking earlier about 6-bit. Oh, my goodness. Excuse me. Now I have nothing left to drink. All right. This would be the 6-bit listing section. Which for the, yeah, my Wild Kingdom. Exactly, Jeff. Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. That's right. That segment was brought to you by Hofferbrauss, the Wild Kingdom segment. Well, that's the beautiful thing about having such a great community. You ask a question like that out of the blue, like, oh, what's the difference between foxes and this? You get a whole, history of this and that, and, age-old remedies to bee stings and snake bites. And hey, Andy, how are you? How many listings? Oh, yeah. Welcome, Andy. I saw you left a message for me earlier on. Great to have you aboard. Let's try to change to some serious topics now. We'll do some listing. This is 6-bit, everybody. This is a listing window. For somebody who has never seen it before, it might look a little overwhelming. Wow, there's so much going on here. Hopefully, I will demystify some of this for everyone. Kelly, again, full credit. Kelly walked me through on Instagram. We were just chatting a couple of months ago now, in early October. I signed up October 1st. Yeah, like October 1st or 2nd. Kind of how to set up a general template, and then you can tweak it as you need to list postcards on. Again, 6-bit can be used to list anything you'd like. I'm using it right now for postcards. The reason I'm using it for postcards is twofold. One, I can't stand the new listing tool on eBay. I like this, believe it or not, even though it might look a little convoluted at first glance. I like it a lot. And then part 2 is it has a lot of really cool benefits, which I hope to go into quickly. Here's a postcard. This is one of my templates that it took me, I don't know, Kelly keeps saying an hour. It might have taken about an hour to get everything from soup to nuts going, but the template, if you will, is very simple. It pulls in information from your eBay store. If you put in some information, when I say information, it pulls in your store categories, it pulls in your specifics that you have. If you have shipping policies in place, if you have all that sort of stuff in place, your payment policy, which is now managed payments, of course, it'll pull everything in. Man, I got to get through this, everybody. So if you take a really high-level look at this, here's your picture section, which is the scan of the postcard. I scan all my postcards using an Epson. I have an ES400. I've heard people have a 5-something, which apparently has some cool, I think maybe it has like a little screen that tells you if it's dirty and needs to be cleaned. Pretty cool. But I've had this 400 for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. It's served me very well. laser, lightning fast, great quality. So I scan a bunch of postcards into a folder on my computer. I label it. In this case, I think I'm on C. If you look at the SKU section, C9, which just means it's my C bin 9th section of 50 cards. All right. So I have a corresponding photo folder with 50 cards in C9. I pulled this one up just for the sake of showing an example here. You bought 400 cards, Karen? Very good. For how much? For $40? Cool. Mark has 2 Epsons. Oh, I know. And Mark has a video about using the Fujitsu, I know, to do this. Here comes Kelly. Kelly comes to life when we pull up 6-bit. No, he was out on the snake bite conversation. So anyway, very cool, everybody. Here's the picture. What I did basically, you see the plus sign up here? Your plus, it opens up the folder where you have your scans of your postcard. So I just selected this one. It's an aerial view of Fort Lauderdale. If you click on this, you get the back. So there's the front and the back. It's a linen card. What I did is I created a series of drafts that all say linen postcard. Again, this is completely subjective in how you want to list. I try to list like cards together. This way I don't have to change as much in my title. So in this case, again, follow any format you want. I'm going to write Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Linen postcard. That's the beginning of my title. So this top portion where it says product title. Again, all this is going to go to eBay. The bottom right, you see where it says eBay categories. I have it set up to go to topographical postcard. Condition is used. This is my default description. Condition is consistent with an old antique postcard. Refer to scan for details. Again, fill that in to your heart's content, however you want to do it. Marlon Perkins was a great man, CJ. He never did anything. He sat in the boat. What was the guy's name that he made? He had a minion that did everything. I'll be in the boat while Jeff goes and deep sea dives. I forgot the guy's name, but he had like a little sidekick that did all the actual work. Marlon just sat there looking good. Who doesn't remember Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom? Sunday nights, and then was followed by Walt Disney World. Wonderful World of Color, right? They would have the Sunday nights. Anyway, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, linen postcard. This is just like when we do listings for print ads. I'm going to do aerial view. It actually says that, aerial view of postcards.
Is Dawn on?
Hello, Mrs. Flip. Dawn is on with bells on.
Hi, Dawn. Are you wearing bells?
Mark has just fed the fish. Good. All is well in the tank. Yes, Dawn. Thank you. Please hit the like button. All right. So we got aerial view for this is just a title, like anything else. But I just want to kind of really, again, at a high level, show everybody the layout here and why I like it. Once you've pulled in your stuff from eBay, which is what I've done here, again, to go to this little section in the bottom right, eBay categories. Here's my store categories. It's going into my postcard category, don't you know? My payment policy, of course, is managed payments. I offer 60-day returns. I never get returns, by the way. Knock on wood, but I never get returns. My shipping policy is in place, blah, blah, blah. Item specifics. Here's the point of contention for many, a postcard lister. While I agree that for to expedite postcard listings, one does not need to put any specifics in. There are no required specifics for postcards. I don't know why. Might that change in the future? Absolutely. As it stands today, are there any required specifics? No. So you do not have to enter anything. And up until very recently, I was entering, nothing. The last month or so, I have been putting in the state. The real reason I started doing that was, and I'm just copying and pasting, it takes a second. Region is how they qualify or quantify state, region. I started doing it because I was dabbling for the month of November with Hip Postcard. I have since bailed on Hip Postcard. They just had too many errors when they brought over my listings from eBay. Don't want to get into the whole thing, but everybody who's watched me for a while knows the sagas I've been through. They kept miscategorizing postcards. So what I was trying to do to get ahead of that was, so I figured, all right, if I put the state in, and you see how I have country USA as a standard, you could copy this. Like if you just make one template and you say, every single postcard I'm going to say is an original because it's a single unit because I'm not selling lots right now. They're all United States unless I list some foreign postcards. I'll change that. I'm putting everything as a state view right now just to be general, and all I'm doing is adding a state. So it's very simple. I copy and paste state. That's the extent, excuse me, of my specifics. All eBay stuff. This description piece is just HTML, and I copied and pasted from one of my eBay listings for postcards. You do that once. Once it's set up, you never have to do it again. Down here is your pricing structure, quantity, kind of self-explanatory, right? All this stuff I pretty much leave alone. My SKU, again, is just my inventory system. Kelly, I have been sucking down cough drops like you would not believe. Actually, I might have to pop this right now. I got this guy going. Severe congestion and cough. Actually, let's do this. Let's do a shot of the worst tasting cough medicine you've ever had, really quickly. This is all free content, by the way, everybody. How many shows do you do shots of cough drops, of cough syrup?
Come here. Come here.
Oh, it's brutal. Every 6 hours. All right. So then, just to get everybody familiar who's interested, especially Ralph was really interested, of the layout. So there's your picture. This section, again, you just leave this. You set it and forget it, as they say. You put in your description from eBay, which is what I've done. It's there for life until you change it if you want to change it. I don't have any need to change it. The bottom right is pretty much always the same for me, except I change my state. That's it. Title is, again, a free-form field. You have 80 characters just like you do on eBay. So for this, it's aerial view of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I might put like beach. See, I don't know. We'll figure this out. This is a new feature I just found out about fairly recently. Yep, you can actually toggle, Andy, you can toggle within eBay. You could look at an HTML version of your verbiage that you have in your description. It's just a toggle on eBay. I'll actually show you if you'd like. And then you just have to paste, for whatever reason, SixBit only allows the HTML portion. Again, it's one time. You paste this in, you save it, and it's set. Put in your title. This is a really cool feature that I brought up a couple of days ago. I didn't know if that many people knew about this. You click on this little magnifying glass next to title. You can change this to multiple tabs, but it brings up an eBay search for your title right in SixBit, which for ease of, research, it really is helpful. It's not going to give you everything, but it's a good place to start. So instead of having to go out to eBay, not that it's a huge time suck to go to eBay, but it keeps it all contained, which is really cool. So here you go. There's 7 results that pulled up with this limited title that I just put in. And that doesn't really look like my card. It's a different view. You can see we have the ocean on the left, right? Probably this guy. People prices, this one's $23 for some ridiculous reason, $2, $4, whatever. But it gives you a sense of what you're dealing with. Really cool. You just click that little magnifying glass. Bam. You can add things. If this plus button, you can actually put a worth point. A worth point, if you have worth point, which I do, you can put a worth point link in there too. It'll pull everything up in one thing. I don't know if you knew that, Kelly, but it's really cool. Alrighty. So that's my title. I put in a price. I'll probably put $5.99 on this one. Again, all this stuff is my bill. These are all business policies and everything that I have currently in my eBay store. It just carries over when you do that initial sync with eBay, when you set up your SixBit account. And Andy, you were looking to get into this. So you said by Monday you want to get SixBit. The beautiful thing, if you didn't know, it's a 30-day free trial. It's a full function, full trial. You could list 10,000 cards. God bless you if you could do 10,000 cards, but you could list as many as you want during that 1 month. And you have that like platinum level or gold level, whatever they define it as, support for that whole month for free, which is really, really cool. Yeah, a month. It's an opportunity to really give it a great test drive and see if it's for you. For me, I knew it 2 days in. I'm like, this is the only way I'm going to do postcards now. There's no reason to go back. It's so simple. Again, I'm elongating this process because I'm explaining it, but really at this point, all I'm doing is bringing in pictures, changing my title, and adding a state. That's all I do. Bottom right, save and exit. And you can see here, it pens these listings. It's not out to eBay yet. It's all going to pend. I set up whatever this is, 15 or so drafts, all with my C9, all with Linden postcard, because that's how many I have left in my folder that I took scans of. The Cornworm postcard. That's great. You double click on the next one. You hit the plus sign. You bring in a postcard. What I do, I don't care what anybody else does. I delete them once I list them. If you do it differently, that's cool. I delete it because I want to know which ones I've listed from my folder. This one looks interesting, actually. Let's pull this one up. This is definitely not a linen card. So I'm going to get rid of the wording linen. When you pull in a picture, it goes to this picture tab. If you go to the left and hit carousel, it gives you the full view. Again, you can do front and back. What's kind of cool is you could also just scroll and zoom in. This is an undivided back, it looks like. No, it's divided back. So I'm gonna put, and there's the blow up of the photo. Bargain Hunters, Conneaut. Is that Ohio? I'm not sure. Posted in 1910. And please stop me if I'm going too fast. I just wanted to show, hey, Papa, you're just in time, man. We're on 6-bit. All right, so I have I guess that quantifies as a divided back, obviously, right? Because we have this line. It's differently positioned, but so I just put DB for divided back. Bargain Hunters, Conneaut. Oh, so we're going to have to look up this town, Conneaut. Conneaut? I don't know how you pronounce it. That's what I'm going to do. EA. I have no idea what it is. Maybe that's Ohio. Anybody know? Ohio. Ooh. I'm going to go to the Google. Yep, looks like Conneaut is Ohio, folks, for the win. So I'm just going to change my thing here to Ohio. Postcard. Bargain Hunters. You can see there's a Woolworth store right there, 5 and 10. It is Ohio, absolutely. We just looked it up. Ralph, I could go through the draft thing in a second with you. That's what Kelly helped me out with a couple of months ago. We just spent some time after a show, actually, and he walked me through. It's very simple. 5 and 10, John. John said 5 and 10s are good. So you got Woolworth's, very legendary department store. Is that a real photo? It doesn't have like the earmark on the back, but I'll look that up. We'll bang out the old loop. Just happen to have one handy. That came from a certain card show in York, Pennsylvania, Popeye. That is a nice card, right? Because you got the 5 and 10, you got Woolworth. Woolworths. 5 and 10. Bicycles, Bargain Hunters. You think that's a real photo, Popeye and Mark and Kelly? I'll look it up, but it's in my, obviously it's already in my, I don't know, man. Bargain Hunters. I'm going to put bicycles. That's a nice one. Anybody think it's a real photo? No, that looks like the dots, right? Even if we zoom it in, you can kind of see. Yeah, look at that, right? It's got the matrix crap. But still a nice card. Correct, Andy. Got it at York. Saw the dots. Absolutely. Yeah, it's printed. Still a nice card, though, right? The 5 and dime thing. Woolworths. It's old. Again, to all you experts who have been doing cards for decades, this is definitely divided back because it has a line, but isn't it just sort of uniquely positioned that it's like over to the left like that? Is it an early undivided back, if that makes any sense? Like it's posted in 1910, but how much is your target price per card and lot you buy? Also, do postcard shows have any good sales? Postcard show was phenomenal, Rye. Obviously, Popeye is the guy to talk to about anything with postcards in general, but yeah, I thought it was an amazing experience. I have a video about it, a couple of videos about it. I had a great time there. Yeah, I got great deals. My cost per card wound up being 12.5 cents, and I got what was it? 1,200 cards, 1,300 cards, something like that. Yeah, it's an early divided back, right? I've been told if line is more to the left, it can be earlier, not verified. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just unique. It's an early divided back. Cool. From what I found, right, 1907, right, when they were switched. You think that's something worth mentioning? Was anybody care from a collector's perspective that it's an early divided back? Like, but I think it's a cool card. So anyway, I'm going to click this thing. Let's see if there's any out there that come up anyway. Now I put a lot of keywords in this one. No, nothing at all. I'm going to take this out just for the purposes of my search quickly. No, I don't see. It's probably pretty unique. 19 date is good enough. Cool. Okay. Just for fun, let's go to Worth Point. I have to get used to this screen share thing. Okay. Worth Point, everybody. For me, it's worth it. This is not cheap either. My buddy Travis had this for a while. Bargain Hunters Bicycles. No, that's terrible. Let's put a real description in, shall we? I'm going to put these in Woolworths. No results. I will tell you, in my limited experience using Worth Point, I mean, I did see it a lot with Travis, but I've only had a membership like a month. Very picky, very finicky. Search FW Woolworth. Which is a postcard. 274. There we go. Ohio. 13. Less words. Yeah, exactly. Keep it simple, right? I have postcard FW Woolworth, Ohio, and it's not in there. So I think it's a fairly unique card, which is always a good thing. As I just hit my printer for no reason. Sorry about that, folks. Let's let this load. As my scanner comes to life. Well, I did, and it was 274 there. Can everybody see these fairly well? The other thing, obviously, we could do is check Terra Peak. There's only 3 that come in with Woolworth. Get rid of FW and just put Woolworth. Again, I don't see mine. Yeah, this is a pretty good one, isn't it? It's a shame it's not a real photo. It'd be even better, but I think scarce is a good thing. Hey, Charles Lowe, how are you? I do personally, Charles, because again, I'm very much a newbie right now in postcards. I'm just trying to learn it, and yeah, I usually now. With that said, there are some that I picked up at the card show that are extremely similar. A building in a major city aerial view, like A&B Bank Company, Chicago, something Methodist Church in different states. They're all kind of the same, linen postcard that they all sell between like $5 and $10. I don't go to every single one. If it's a scarcer town, like even this town, Conneaut, Ohio, whatever, it's not Cleveland. It's not, a big city, quote unquote. Those smaller towns, I absolutely will do a little more research in, but the real, like the basic $5 to $10 cards, I'm starting to see a lot of them are just kind of the same. But something like this I knew was going to be cool, which is glad I'm glad I pulled it up. You like the old utility pole shadow? Yeah, look at that. That's on the awning, right? Cool card, everybody. Kelly's going 25 at least. Yeah, I like this one. Now, again, I want to put more keywords in here, though. I'm going to put, well, what did I have in there? Did I get rid of it? Ah, shoot, I did. I had 5 and 10. Bicycles, maybe storefront. Spelling, always a good thing. Yeah, that's really cool. Look what Mark pointed out. The utility pole shadow on the awning there. That's really cool. Place is packed. I'll tell you that. They must be having a big sale. This is Black Friday in 1910, everybody. At Woolworths. You'd go auction, and you'd go like 25 bucks. What do you guys think? Now, if I go auction, I'm going to have to change some things within SixBit because I have a standard, going, obviously, fixed price. Cool. Let's do it. Let me figure out where we put that. Listing upgrades now. I just need to find where I do that. Custom fields, no. Here we go. Auction. Cameron says auction. We're starting at 25? Yeah, I got it, Kelly. See? Little tab down there that says auction. 25 auction? Anybody think of any other cool words we could put in the title? I like the bicycles. Some little kids. Some $29.99, says Cameron. Popeye, what's the price? What's the starting price? The thing is with the auction, can you set the time frame within this? I could always go back into eBay. I've never done an auction through SixBit. This is a great example. The cornworm postcard. Anybody think 25? You like 29.90? I know the whole 99-cent thing. I price all my stuff like that too. Even the RPPs from there are going for huge money. There was a litho card of a photographer studio sold for $24.99. That was either one bid, auction, or bin. I'd auction at your max. Crowd period dress. That's a good one too. Do the auction Sunday night. Make sure you put into your auction waiting to upload folder. Ooh, I never did that before. Hold on. Make sure you put that into your auction waiting to upload folder in the tree on the left. Oh, after I save and exit. Okay. You think 25 is a good start, everybody? All right. So save and exit. And then there's a tree up here, you're saying? Oh, I see. eBay auction. Why does it say 0? Oh, because there's none listed yet. Well, anyway, this is SixBit, everybody. Click and drag it over to that folder, into the folder that says auction. There you go, 1. 57 cents, Audie Mike, for yep, I just moved into the folder. Thanks, Kelly. 57 cents, Mike, for an ounce for like one card. This one I would do. Actually, that's a good point. I'm gonna change the shipping. No, it's okay, Kelly. I appreciate it, man. It's just that I haven't done an auction in SixBit. All right. So then this one, when I submit, I send it separately. Is that what everybody's saying? I kind of want to get this one going. But a good point about the Sunday night thing. I don't care. I think once I send it, I'll just go into eBay and tweak as I want. Like I could set it up for whatever schedule, 7 days, 10 days, whatever I want. And I'm definitely going to change my shipping policy, which I currently have is the ESE. But for this, I'll definitely, if I'm starting at 25 bucks, it's, if in case anybody doesn't know, you can only go up to 20 bucks with the standard envelope. value. Is that per card? Like, could I put 3 $19.99 cards in a standard envelope? All right, but for the sake of, again, anyone, we'll go back to under construction, who's not familiar with SixBit, I just wanted to do a couple. Yes, send it, and then any other auction items at the same time you could schedule now. So that's true. Yeah, you could. That's another great. By the way, we talk about features and benefits of SixBit. Yeah, you can schedule listings, which I think you could do within eBay anyway. But I just wanted to show everybody. So this, I want to put one through just so everybody can see the Florida one we did, the aerial view that I put for $6, right? Let's say what I usually do, this is a listing show, but what I usually do is I have about 50 of these all set up in this, how do they categorize it? Under construction. When you're done with that, let's pretend that this was 50. It's only one now. For me personally, I right click and I hit edit. And I created this macro because I had trouble. And this is where this was all figured out during the that trial period I was in, by the way, Ralph. I had to create a macro so that that SKU number that you see there, my C9, I map, if you look up here, it says anything from SKU, map it to external item ID. External item ID is this column, which is now blank. It'll be populated with my SKU. Then that will feed over to eBay, and then my SKU section will be filled out on eBay. This is a little more complicated than your traditional thing. I had to do this because my SKUs weren't going over. So anyway, I just do that, hit OK. I can show everybody how to do that if you have an issue. And you see now it says C9. And again, we're just going to show an example. So then you hit submit. Leave this alone. This is a fixed price listing. Submit. And all that the program does is uploads the 2 pictures first, and then it submits the listing over to eBay. Bam. It's really fast. I mean, that was one listing, which is extremely fast. It usually takes, for 50, it might take like 3 or 4 minutes altogether. But then you have 50, at once 50 new listings done. I haven't scheduled an auction yet, so let's do that together. How do we schedule? I'm going to right click. If you right click, you usually get different options. I don't know how to submit a auction, John. I haven't done one yet. Let me go into my listings really fast, and I'll show everybody the listing as it goes to eBay. There it is, Fort Lauderdale. There's your listing live on eBay. There's that C9 field. The only thing, again, if anybody cares about this, you could pay like another $5 or $6, something like that. I don't remember what it was, to get this watermark off. They put a watermark in. It says powered by SixBit. I don't care to pay extra money for something so trivial. Nobody even gets to that point of the listing, as we all know, on eBay. They look at the title, they look at the picture, and they look at the price. Oh, 30 drafts for auctions, you mean? Pick 7-day auction from the drop down. Then there was a button that is scheduled. Pick the date calendar. Oh, hit submit first or no? Here's my auction. Do I hit submit first? Oh, and then hit auction. There we go. There you go. Beautiful. There we go, everybody. So you click just like you were submitting. Change it from fixed price to auction. I'll go 10 days. I want to get the most I can get. Schedule. We'll start it on Sunday. Is that the consensus? Don't know what this means. Listings per interval. Does that look good, everybody? Pick 7-day auction. Oh, you do 7-day? I'll do 7-day. I don't care. Right, this way it runs Sunday to Sunday. That makes sense. Pick 7-day auction will drop down. Then there is a button that is scheduled. Pick the date, calendar, and time. I just did. For 10-day auction, always start on Thursdays, ends on Sunday. Okay, Sunday is the case. So I'll do 7, which is fine. Sunday to Sunday. Bam, hit submit, right? And then that'll go out as scheduled at 8:01. I wonder if you could tweak the time on that. I guess not. I guess it's because it's 8:01 here. So 8:01, cool. Submit. It's as simple as that, folks. Thank you, Popeye. Well, that should be fun. That might be a pretty decent postcard right there for me. Beautiful. And then I guess if you look on the left, which again I have to move because of my camera. Oh, and does it say like pending or anything like that? Awaiting upload? No. Under construction 12. These are just my drafts of my regular. You can adjust the time. Okay. I don't mind it going off at 8 o'clock. That's a good time. Sunday evening's probably a really good time. Well, anyway, I hope that helped someone. 6-bit, love it. We could definitely dive deeper into it, especially when I'm in better voice, because I feel like I'm on the verge of collapsing any moment right now, truth be told, with this cough. Not on. Let me unshare this for just a moment. There we go, everybody. Look at me. I look like death, too. Bags going, red eyes. Jesus. All right. Well, thanks, Papa. That's how you do. So that's how simple this program is. I mean, he told, but you see how like user friendly it is. So we got that going. We got 7 days. If you ever need to find that listing again, you can find it on the repository tab. Thank you. Cool, Andy. That's cool. Yeah. Definitely. So again, for the month, and this is not a commercial. Heard a wise ass remark that I'm doing commercials for 6, but I'm not. We're just talking about it, something that helps us on eBay. Definitely worth it for 30 days for free. You just can't go wrong. And again, fully functional. A lot of products, you get the 30-day trials or 15-day trials, and you get like a limitation, like Vendu, which I'm a fan of, which I use to cross-post some stuff on Etsy. It was like they only gave you like you could do 10 posts a month or something, so obscenely low number. You really don't get much benefit. This is like try the program out. Not only try the program out, but you get that high level of whatever the tier they call it, platinum or gold support for that first month, which is really critical actually, because that's when you're going to probably struggle the most. But we could go much more into it again. Maybe I'll do whole shows. Just we'll do a listing like this on 6-bit. I love the program, and now I just learned from John and Kelly how to do the auction. That was my first auction via 6-bit. As you can see, pretty simple, pretty painless. Yeah, no problem, man. Go, just dive in. Just go do it. It's a lot of fun, and you can't go wrong. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, I'm hurting. Sorry about that, everybody. I paid. It's $25 a month. I'll actually show you my. Do I have my? We have like a client paid. Yeah, there it is, client. This is like the interface that you get. It's so funny. I have a late balance to it. It was on the 30th, right? They billed me. I thought I had it set up for auto payments, but it's paid on the PayPal. So I had to go in. They were very cool. They're like, yeah, just set it up. So anyway, I'm paid. It's $24.99 for mine. There we go. And that was my free month, you could see. And my program is called Home and Hobby Edition right there. I don't remember the specifics, but it gives you, for my purposes, it was more than enough. It gives you X amount of listings, a month for $25. Yeah, Worth Point is like 28 or something. Exactly, which is what I'm doing for the postcard thing. If I was to potentially do print ads with that, anything you have in bulk that are very similar, like Popeye says, where you could see right there from those couple of examples, all I'm tweaking is, a title and a state, essentially. You don't have IG. No, for my purposes, it isn't bad, Andy. And again, I'm far be it from me to tell people how to spend their money or what they consider expensive and inexpensive. For me, it's well worth it. I've just been able to probably triple my productivity when it comes to listing postcards using this method. I like it. I'm very accustomed to it, and there's no turning back. I couldn't imagine suddenly not having it. That might sound extreme for 2 months, but it's true. I love it. I'm listing postcards day and night using this thing. And as you see, it has that scheduling functionality. If it was a non-specialized reseller, I could use it because we're jumping around too much. But if I'm listing 200 New Jersey, but that's why, like I said, I set up a bunch of templates, and I have the same thing, linen postcard. I make like 50 of them. Now, granted, there was one non-linen that snuck into the photo, which is fine. But generally speaking, yeah, if I'm just plowing through a bunch of linens, or like John said, all one state, which I've purchased from John and whatnot, 500 New Jersey postcards. That's going to be constants. New Jersey, New Jersey, New Jersey. You fill those in, you save it, you save a template. I mean, you're just whistling through these listings really, really quickly. Yeah, it does. Sounds like a cable show, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm sure there are. Cool. Exactly. Yeah, it's child's play at that point. It really is. No, I'm not telling you how to spend. I'm just personal experience from those in the group who commiserate. Is that the right word with me? Phenomenal. I love it. The support is fantastic. Never knock on plastic. Never had a technical glitch with the program. Never had any issues using it whatsoever. Just all about it. Really, I'm thrilled that thanks to John and Kelly talking about it so much, that I found it. It's a perfect tool for my needs right now. I don't remember what level. Maybe John has a higher level than me. I don't know. Whatever is beyond the friends and family. What do I have? Whatever it's called that I just showed everybody. Home and hobby. But for me, it's fine. If you're listing 10,000 a month, maybe you need a more savvy plan. I don't know. No problem. Hey, Ken, how are you? Good to see you, man. Met Ken 2 weeks ago today. Can you believe it's been 2 weeks already since York? That's crazy. Hey, Jay Smith, SixBit also allows you to do full item specifics fast by tabbing between. So true. Yeah, you could type like the first letter and it'll populate. That's a good point. And now me, Mark, SM Postcards, another big postcard guy who's in the show all the time. Connie, great lady, comes in all the time. She's not here tonight for some reason, but we'll let that slide. Connie is great with postcards as well. A lot of, it's a huge, watch Popeye's video series, Andy. If you haven't done it already, you got to check it out. He has like a 25-piece thesis all about postcards from, A to Z. Speaks in the beginning, which is really educational, actually, about how collected they are. That's something I got to admit I did not know at all. It's just how popular they are. And having been now at this postcard show, having been selling them for a couple of months on eBay, it's evident that people love postcards, and there's millions and millions of collectors out there. And it's one of the top 2 or 3, whatever Popeye said, I believe it, top 2 or 3 collectibles in the world is postcards. Stupid pieces of paper, as somebody said. Oh, Digicool. Yeah, it's great stuff. He's launched many a postcard career. Absolutely, Kelly. It is an infection. There's no cure. Like, eventually I will stop coughing. It might take a year, but eventually I'll stop coughing. I will never get over my postcard virus. In fact, it only grows. It becomes worse and worse. But I'm sorry, everybody. I'm going to wrap it up. I am spent, unfortunately, with my voice, and I'm trying so hard not to choke and cough on the air. Hopefully, I've been quasi-successful with that, but it's been a great night. I appreciate everybody coming in. I'll be back on Monday for the regular chat show format. Might be able to have a guest in on Monday. I'm working on that. If not, we'll just continue with the usual shenanigans. Hopefully, I'll feel a little bit better, and hopefully, everybody have a lot of good sales. And then during the show, actually, my postcard we just talked about should be launching. Oh no, that'll be on Sunday. So I'll let you know if we get any bids on it. Starting at 25. Pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. It's an old hobby. No problem, Andy. Thank you so much for coming in. Yes, all part of the devious plan. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, as long as Sherlock gets some rest. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. I really appreciate you coming on. And if you didn't leave a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it if you just took a second and give that thumbs up on the way out the door. I'll see everybody on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Good night.